Topping today's news, members of Parliament debate amendments to the Parliamentary Elections Act to permit biometric identification for the 2026 elections. Poaching having a negative impact on the new lobster season. A man dies while swimming at Montague Beach yesterday, and the opposition leader gives advice to the government in regards of the new Junkanoo Authority. This is your JCN Evening News. I'm Jarino Saunders. Thank you so much for joining us. In the past, there has been concerns by various political parties, independent candidates, and Bahamians in general regarding the process of voting during general elections and whether it is a fair process. Well, the government is taking steps to prevent voter fraud by introducing the biometric voters card. We hear more from the Prime Minister in this next report from Ariana Neely.
When Bahamians next go to the polls for the general elections in 2026, many of us will be using biometric voters cards. The legislation to make that happen was first tabled in the House of Assembly on July 23rd, and the goal is to reduce voter fraud and uphold the integrity of elections. The current electoral system is said to be vulnerable to errors and inefficiencies. Leading the debate, Prime Minister Philip Davis said that this bill is at the heart of the nation's democracy and spoke clearly to its intention.
It is a substantive set of amendments that modernize how we register to vote, issue voter identification, and administer polling stations. These amendments are targeted, precise, and legally sound. They give full effect to reforms already passed into law, and they provide the tools necessary to protect electoral integrity without limiting access to the ballot box. Among the changes, we are replacing the concept of a permanent voter card with a secure biometric card that carries a 10-year validity. That change is now embedded in the new section 14A. This card will be similar to size, shape, and feel as to your driver's license and or NIB card. The card will be valid for 10 years. This approach reflects what is already done in other national systems. It ensures that voter credentials remain current without requiring wholesale re-registration. The Act also introduces a new section 14B, which mandates a national voter verification exercise once every 10 years.
The government is following recommendations made by the Organization of American States that observed the 2021 elections. The biometric system is already being used by other countries around the world. He noted that a majority of Bahamians on the voters register have already submitted their biometrics that can now be transferred to the voters card.
What is important here, Madam Speaker, is that we are not starting from zero. Approximately 80% of Bahamians who have registered or are on the register, 80% of those who are now on the continuous register already have biometric data on file with the Passport Office. This legislation allows those voters to consent to a secure data transfer, eliminating the need for repeat biometric capture. This is an efficient, privacy-conscious way to build continuity in the new system.
The new legislation does not address electronic voting, as ballot boxes will still be the primary means to cast your vote. The Prime Minister said that this improvement in the nation's democracy should not be controversial and invited the opposition to work with the government to implement the new system.
Treating one another, even across the aisle, with the respect this democratic process demands. So I say to the Leader of Opposition, your concerns will not be dismissed. Your party will not be sidelined. And I say this also to Central Grand Bahama. The door is open for dialogue, for briefing, and for contribution. And I think we invite you to help strengthen the process, not out of political expedience, but because it is the right thing for you to do for our country. And the parliamentary commissioner at our briefing indicated to your representative, the deputy leader, that his door is open. He said it to the leader of the COI for continued dialogue on this process. And I am available to discuss any of the issues as well.
The bill was seconded by the Minister of National Security, Wayne Monroe, whose ministry is responsible for the Parliamentary Registration Department. F&M Deputy Leader Shannon Don Cartwright led debate for the official opposition. For Love 97 FM, I'm Ariana Neely. For JCN, I'm Ariana Neely.
Thanks for that report, Ariana. The opposition is raising red flags over what it calls the government's failure to curb illegal poaching in Bahamian waters, calling for a stronger political will and greater resources for the Royal Bahamas Defense Force. Opposition leader Michael Pintard, the former Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, says the issue is creating serious hardship for Bahamian fishers in the southern end of the Bahamas, mainly by Dominican poachers, and as well in the northern Bahamas, mainly by Americans. Pintard further alleged that phone numbers linked to interdicted Dominican poachers were traced back to Bahamian contacts, and he is calling for a full investigation into whether locals are enabling illegal fishing. He says the Royal Bahamas Defense Force deserves credit for their efforts, but they need more support from the policy makers. There have been calls to be more careful on the roads by those of you who drive vehicles, but the Bahamas continues to see an increase in traffic accidents, and the police are concerned as the death toll so far this year, now at 44, and it surpassed last year's statistics that were at 40 during this same period last year. Commissioner of Police Chantineau says the Royal Bahamas Police Force continues to crack down on reckless driving in a bid to improve road safety.
We conducted thousands of road stop and search and cited motorists that were in violation of traffic laws. We utilized our speed guns and other tools to monitor our highways and crack down on reckless drivers as a means to encourage road safety.
Knowles says the traffic officers have also been deployed throughout the Family Islands.
We mobilized officers throughout the Bahamas, and as we did so, we issued over 33,000 fixed penalty notices and investigated 6,105 road accidents.
In addition to enforcement efforts, police are urging motorists to slow down and stay alert and follow the rules of the road. And finally, in this segment, the Ministry of Health and Wellness is converting the former Bahamas Mortgage Corporation building on Russell Road in Oaksfield into a new reference lab. We spoke with Scorpio Construction's project engineer, Gerard Simonet, that has partnered with the Ministry of Health and Wellness to learn what is to be expected once the new construction has been completed.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness is executing a nearly $2 million contract with Bahamian company Scorpio Construction to transform the old Bahamas Mortgage Corporation building on Russell Road into the new home of the National Reference Lab. The project was funded by the IDB and is a part of a broader initiative to strengthen public health infrastructure and medical services in the Bahamas. The upgraded facility will enhance the nation's diagnostic testing capabilities and better support public health responses.
Construction began on May 20th this year and is about 55% completed and is looking to be opened by the end of this year. Valerie Evans, project manager for Scorpio Construction, gave a breakdown of the building and the works being done.
On this site, we have about 6 labs on the lower level that we're trying to finish and structure. All of the specs inside are going to be sanitary grade, infrastructure stainless steel, touchless units. like this is a medical facility, so it has to be up to par. On the upper floor is offices, and it's going to be tiled out.
According to the government, the new facility marks a major step forward for health care in the Bahamas. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back following these commercials.